I'm just going to run you through now how to do a picture with inks where you'll do a background. So we're going to do kind of a sunset background. The colours kind of are graded through from kind of the pinky red to the orange to the yellow at the bottom, and that they blend all the way through, so it's like a sunset. So then we can, once that's dry, do a silhouette picture with the black Indian ink, because doing this gives you a chance to try out the blending, but also to do to play with the brush marks that you can do when you're doing the detail with the black. I've also got a tray here so that we can water down the inks, so that we can do our background a bit easier, because you want to add a bit more water to them. So you start to do your background by, and I've got a slightly wider brush here, not my fine point one, if you can see that, just because I'm going to be doing broader strokes from left to right. So you just take some plain water first and wet the top part of your paper, and you want plenty of water, and then spread it around. So you're filling about roughly a third of that top part. So you're doing your paper this way as well. So this is called landscape, so where it's wider rather than higher, whereas this way around is called portrait. So we're going to do landscape picture today. So we do our top part of the paper wet. And then I'm going to start with the red. So I'm going to actually put some red into here, to the tray here, and then adding my water that down a bit, and then apply it to the paper, and you'll see how it spreads where you've wet the paper. It spreads into the water, and then you can completely cover it. And keep going backwards and forwards, spreading it out. And you might want to have the top part slightly darker, so you can then add some of the red straight from the pot jar, and that just darkens it. I'm getting this all over my table, so I should have put my blue mat down. I'll give you one so that you can protect your table when you're doing this, because you want to go right to the edge. There we are. It slightly fades as we go down. I'm trying to do this quickly as well, because I don't want this video to go on too long for you. So then we take some plain water and we go underneath, slightly overlapping with the pinky red, like this. So just the plain water, and then with a clean brush, taking some of the orange, popping it in the tray. Oh, sorry, that's my phone. Apologies about my phone. Right, so where was I? Putting some orange in the tray, wash the brush, and then adding some water to that one. And then you can spread the orange so it kind of goes into the red, slightly overlapping it. Keep going till they blend. And you can, if you get bits where they're not that blended, you can just put some water over them. Get rid of those lines. When that dries, that will dry a bit smoother. And then you want to just wet the bottom. So you don't need to go right down to the bottom, because that's going to be covered up by our silhouette image. Get right to the edge. There we are. Wash the brush, make sure it's clean, and then dip it into the yellow. Put that bit of yellow in the tray. Wash the brush again, add some water. Mix in the yellow. And then what I want to do is I want to make the yellow quite bright, so I'm going to add it straight from the jar. And keep going until you're happy with the background. Got some lovely vibrant colours, and then I'm going to let that dry. So that needs to dry completely before you put any black on, because you want the black lines to be really crisp and not bleed into the paper at all. So you have to let that completely dry. Take that, smooth that out a bit. Keep fiddling with it. There we are. I'll leave it alone for now. So once your background is completely dry, you can start to plan your silhouette scene. So I'm going to use a pencil first to mark it out, and I've got a little picture of a silhouette in front of me, which I can put some ideas in your box, so you've got some images to work from yourself, because I think it is helpful to have something to work from, or at least to kind of spark ideas. So I'll put some examples of silhouette scenes that you might like to use as inspiration in your box. So I'm going to do a simple kind of landscape scene here, so just marking it out with pencil. So this is where I'm going to do the black, and I'm going to do a kind of large tree area. I'm just going to mark it lightly because this is where I'm going to go over with the black ink. And I'm just going to do one of these big trees, kind of thing you might find in kind of the African plains or something really like really big. Yeah, lovely twisty branches. There we are. So that's just a guide for me when I come to do the black. So you've got the Indian ink, the black ink here, this one. So open it up and pop it on your tray. I'm going to use the thicker brush, make sure it's clean. So this is the one that's got the fine point at the end. I'm going to dab it dry, and then I'm going to work straight from the ink pot and move it close. Ooh, dip it in. So you just need to put the end in, you don't need to put the whole brush in, because you see it soaks it up, and you just want the tip covered. And then I'm going to work straight on to my scene. So it's a lovely contrast to the colours, really dark, clean lines. You see, as you go, you lose the deepness of the colour, so you need to keep topping up, and you can go over and fill in the whole area, making sure you've got plenty of ink on your brush. You don't really want to see any of the brush strokes. You want it to just be a solid block of black. There we are, so I've just got the ground section in, and then I'm going to do a bit of the tree. Actually, I think I've gone a bit far too over this side, so I'm going to... You don't need to be exact with your branches. It's good to try and kind of explore the marks that you can make, shapes with your brush. A kind of twisting tree. Looks really quite nice. And kind of adjust it as you go. Do the ends of the tree, the actual leaves at the top, and do shorter strokes, quite loose flicks. And building them up. Some areas might be completely blocked out. And just with this kind of spiky edge. You might add some other smaller trees in the background, slightly different. You can add as much detail as you like into this. You can can add a lot or you can keep it quite minimal. It's really up to you. You might want to add some animals and things in there. Kind of in the scene. You can have fun with it and really make it what you want. As I say, I'll add some inspiration in there if there's any pictures that you want to use as your starting point, or if you want to do something completely out of your head, that's also fine. You know, have a play with different patterns and things you can do, but it's a really nice way of exploring the mark making and also the blending. So yeah, I look forward to seeing how you get on. Any problems, just let me know, but good luck.